bad, I think.
See? How many 13-year-olds out there have 12-year-old girlfriends?
Yeah.
That's fucked up, man.
That's just the law, though. I don't know.
That's just wrong.
That's just the law, and it's crazy because it's different in every state.
When the law is immoral, it's our duty as good men to break it.
But something like that, it's like, how do you determine what's the moral line? It's really hard because it's very arbitrary.
I think we should just all stop having sex.
That's really the best thing we could do, is everybody just go abstinent and just find one person, and then after you have sex with that one person, legally you can't have sex with anybody else.
So you've already heard all the analysis of like, okay, this new woke shit is just a new religion.
Oh yeah.
So check this out. They're even trying to get everybody to stop having fun sex. Like fun, rowdy. They're doing the same shit. They're like, you should only have sex with someone basically when you're married. Is basically what...
Is that what the woke people are saying?
Basically, because if you're getting...
Bro, I always thought this was going to happen.
Basically, right?
That
Isn't
the
that kind
woke
of...
or the right and the left are literally going to start being... They're going to flip-flop. They're going to be the same... They're going to change and be the same thing.
Well, think about what the left is now doing. They're telling people not to use curse words. They're telling people not to have, like, sex with strangers when they're drunk and partying.
Oh, my God.
You know, only with people basically that you like really trust and have close, so you know that they're not gonna, call you out for being an R word.
Racist?
Or retard. There's too many R words actually. We really gotta round that out, figure out what's going on.
Oh man, I could use another N word.
You're telling me.
Yo,
when you said the N-word last night at the mic, it hit me like a fucking wall of wind.
Yeah.
I overreacted and like everybody got what I was doing because I was like, whoa!
I think people expect that out of me now. After a year and a half being here, they're like, okay, Drew's just a shock jockey.
Yeah, Julia Corral came up to me. She's like, Bram, Drew is just like you.
Yes, they said that to me the other day.
I mean, yes, obviously.
I was like, yeah, that's why I like him so much. Yeah, and I think the thing is, people receive me better. That's the crazy thing. People are receiving me because you see the things I post on Facebook.
Same shit I post, but more obnoxious even.
More obnoxious and more frequent.
Yeah,
I've been going hard.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, though. I think the more obnoxious actually makes people accept it more. Cause they see what you're doing.
They can see through it.
Because as soon as you post something that's not obnoxious, but still, like, completely over the line, people think you're just...
being obnoxious.
They think you're just being serious, and they take that as more of a threat.
Okay, yeah.
Than someone who's clearly joking.
Yeah.
So they're like, holy shit, here's somebody who actually means it.
Well, I try to put enough of the joking, so when I do put something serious, it's kind of hard for people to tell the difference.
You always exaggerate, but you also always play both sides.
And I'm glad you've seen that too, because my friend Vino was saying like, bro, I don't really know what you're doing, but it's confusing, because you'll see one thing and be like, wait, what?
Do you go on Twitter?
No, but that's why I've been saying I need to start doing Twitter, because I think that is what I'm doing. If I move that to Twitter, it'll be... for me.
I don't know what Portland's problem is and why they all think we just should stay on Facebook, but it's the least effective app.
Facebook is only good for making people angry that you know, or that people who know.
That already, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
who you know.
it's your circle.
You could go on Twitter and post that same stuff, and then strangers start seeing it, and then you get their reactions.
Exactly. Then the retweets, and then I'm just a Twitter fucking troll.
That's why I started going on Instagram, because like nobody on Facebook is getting my shit, so I'm just gonna go start making stupid pictures and videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna forget about all this. And it's fun because it's like, now I'm not posting for the drama, I'm posting for like the production of comedy, which you're doing, but all you're getting is drama out of it.
Yeah, it really is just drama, and it's really not profitable, the Facebook. Like, the thing about Facebook, it's great for getting, like in Virginia, it was great for getting a following for people to come to your local shows.
Yeah.
But that's it.
And that's what I'm still using Facebook for. Is like, I'm even gonna start trying to advertise my plumbing on there, like, Because you can go to like Portland Moms.
Yeah,
on
locally
Facebook.
it's
It's
great.
like very simple.
You know, within
locally,
your state
you know,
or a couple of other
mean.
states over, Facebook is really effective, especially when you use their ads. Like their ad algorithm that they have is really effective. Like you can pinpoint.
Are you on TikTok?
No.
The algorithm on TikTok. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I hear.
Dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. You can you just randomly get followed by strangers who just like your shit.
Yep.
It's nifty. I'm really liking it. It also makes you feel like shit, because it's like, why don't I have 1 million? What the fuck?
Well, how many followers you got on TikTok?
200 and something, 300.
Okay. I mean, I got like 1,000 on Instagram, but that took a while to get that.
Yeah, the thing with Instagram is all the people on there for me are just like...
People you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
TikTok is the only... I don't know anybody on the TikTok. So it's 300 people who just like...
That's more validating than the 900 on Instagram, because...
Who are just your high school buddies.
Exactly.
Or your high school buddies' girlfriends.
Yeah.
Where on TikTok, it's literally... I have 300 people who see every video that I post and react to it. Because they like me.
Yeah.
Because I posted some video of me fixing a dishwasher, and I made a racist joke.
Wait.
All these fucking Republicans followed me instantly. They're like, "You fucking got me, dude. That's a good one." And they all followed.
So you can really curate a following, a specific following too.
It's like dipping your cup into a random body of water, and then you have your filter in there, and you just who comes out? How many people were in that random scoop of that? Of the sample, because TikTok's only going to show your video to so many people.
Yes, but they'll show it to the people who want to see it,
and then people who want to see it.
Yeah,
it's cool. I like it.
Okay, I'm with it.
It's high. People. The only reason people don't like it is because it's TikTok.
It's so good.
It's so dorky, and it's like kids are on it and stuff.
Kids are on it, and it's pretty formulaic. Like, I mean, most things I see on TikTok are from Instagram, and especially dance videos. I don't know. What do you post on TikTok? I guess I gotta get.
I post my coffee things on there.
So really fast paced.
I'll do maintenance, and I'll film myself, and I'll just talk to the camera while I'm doing maintenance, and then if something funny happens, I'll cut that out and put it on TikTok.
Got you.
It's like a new thing. It's like different. You get to find your own. Because there's a guy on TikTok who runs, and there's a guy on TikTok who does this.
Yep.
There's an angry black guy, and there's a funny cook. You know, there's all these people who just have their thing. So you just get to go on there and find It's cool. It's like the new world. It's the internet of like, we all get to be ourselves. It's nice.
It's so crazy how celebrity is just so accessible now.
Yeah, well,
they made celebrity accessible. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like random who gets to be celebrity. It's like literally a lottery now. Just like who's trying, who wants to be a celebrity.
I think it's less random. I think if you just put in the work and put in and you listen to the formula and you stick to that. I mean, there's, like you said, there's moms who have very popular Instagrams, and you're like, and maybe you're not George Clooney, you're not Denzel Washington, but you have some form of notoriety and celebrity.
Yeah. Which
is what everybody wanted in the early 2000s, 80s, and 90s, was like a little taste of celebrity life, and now you have it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is crazy.
But the cool thing with that is, like, the celebrity is what you can do with that.
Oh, yeah.
Is now whatever service you're selling, you can now sell to all your fans.
Yeah. I mean, I've always felt Instagram is nothing but everybody's commercial for each other.
It's great.
It's an infomercial. It's like, hey, this is what I do. Do you want it?
Isn't that... But it's like, that's what we needed.
Yeah.
That's the cool part, is I didn't even... Like, until I started thinking realistically about, I could, like, just sell my skills to people. And my personality's enough that I could, like, charge more than somebody else and get away with it if I just find people who like my personality beforehand. I don't know, it's cool. The internet's, like, opening up a lot of doors.
I mean, think about Jeff Bezos started selling books. Now he's retired with a $500 billion or whatever. I don't know what he has, but...
I mean, I'm not a fucking dork. But, like, look at Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's a great example.
He just started talking with his friends on the internet on video, and now he's one of the most famous, richest men...
Ever.
Of all time, yeah.
Of all time. And he's polarizing too. That's the crazy part. He's completely polarizing.
Instead of being what celebrities used to be, which was bland.
Yeah.
To the point of being like everybody likes them.
Exactly.
And then they force them down your throat. Now we get to pick the most exciting, interesting people for ourselves.
Exactly.
And it's like, who did the internet? Who did all the people agree on to be the cool guy? And it's like, well, a little more real.
The craziest part I found about all this is there could be some people who are like got 5 million followers, 100 million YouTube subscribers, and I won't know who they are at all.
Yeah.
I'll have no idea. And there's so many of those people like that who have this crazy following and kind of live in anonymity.
And
you
might not know a single person who knows that person.
No. You can literally meet them on the street. This person who's pretty famous, I guess what you would call famous, and you're just like, oh, you don't even know him from anybody else.
But like that's the cool thing is like that could be anybody.
That really could be anybody.
And it's encouraging because like you said, the accessibility, like it's because it's when you think about like, oh, I need to get 1 million. What happens if you get 1 million followers? It seems like a lot, but then in reality.
I mean, what happens when you get 10K?
Right.
100,000. What happens when you get that? What opportunities open up when you just do that?
The weird thing is like all the money opportunities that open up, but that it doesn't actually change. It's not actual fame.
No.
You're still just a person, but you're just making.
You're a promoter.
It's just a new way to make a living. It's really strange.
Yeah, it's
really strange.
really, really strange.
But yeah, you used to be limited on who you could sell to by who was close to you.
Because you needed those, or not even who's close to you, but also like the people you would use to sell products usually had to be super famous. Like I'm sure companies are like, oh wait, I can just sell my products on this guy's Instagram and not like have to pay for a national TV commercial. Like what? Like I can just,
right. Right.
That's even for companies. It's just like, oh, I can just promote on this guy's page, give him a couple $100 and some company swag or whatever, and boom, now I'm reaching however many followers this guy's had. Like I thought this today, cable is going to be dead in the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why you would advertise on TV.
Yeah.
At some point, advertising on TV is not going to be cost effective. Like it's
the
just
state
not.
Might prop it up.
Okay, but I mean, it's only so long that can last, right? Only so long you can subsidize TV. Radio will still be a thing because people still listen to shit in their car. But even that, I'm like, the internet's just going to take over. There's going to be no point for any of this.
I mean, you're right on it taking over, but I wonder if it'll go away.
I mean, everybody still has analog. You know somebody with a DVD player. You know somebody with a fucking...
Yeah, how long before we're pure, like, transition to everybody is on the internet? Is that going to happen? Or is there always going to... Or as the internet gets bigger... Are we going to get more holdouts, maybe?
Oh, people just being like, nah, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Like even because it's getting bigger.
The thing is, if you do that, then you can't compete with everybody who's using technology to get ahead. So everybody's going to be forced to adapt at some point.
When you say that word compete, I think it probably like closes a lot of people off, like right off the bat. And I've been trying to figure out a new way to talk about that because competition in the market is a really important thing.
It's a really important thing.
But people don't like to hear that. There's got to be a better way to say.
People don't like to hear that because they really don't understand. I think people are just idealists with their isms. People are just Marxists and they're like, I'm just going to be a Marxist. People are capitalists and they're like, I'm just going to be a capitalist. I'm like, first of all, every society has mixes of capitalism and socialism, or what's the other word? Not socialism. That's control of the, or maybe that's communism. One of those where it's not control of the means, the distribution and all that, you know what I mean? It's just redistribution of wealth. That's what it really is. And like fucking Medicare and fucking
It's like socialism. Is that the word you were looking for?
I don't know if it is socialism.
That's not what it. I mean,
because I think there's
depends on your definition.
Exactly, and I think the actual definition of socialism is like the government control of production, means, and distribution. You know what I mean? So I don't know exactly what it is, but there's always been like a free market and using taxes to like uplift the floor of the society.
Always is a strong word.
Okay, no, you're right. But for a long time,
in all of modern history,
yeah, you're right.
In all of recorded history,
exactly.
There has been taxes.
So I'm just like, it's like we said in the last podcast, it's just a mix of both and trying to find the right mixture for a optimal, efficient society. So definitely when people hear that, they're like, "Ugh, free market? No, I want."
Yeah, they wish it could just be
socialism. But I'm like, you really don't know what
charity.
total socialism is, and we've actually already seen that. So I don't know why you would want that again.
It's hard it's hard to argue with people who aren't working with reality. They're working with their ideas.
Yeah, but also like we've seen a strong. Here's the craziest thing, because we have a country that's strongly capitalist and communist. China.
Sure.
And like we see how that's working. Like two extremes of both mixed together doesn't seem to be right either.
Well, it's tricky because it's hard to decide where the negatives come from. If you look at it in certain ways, it can seem like I don't know. A lot of people think there's these innate negatives with the free market.
Well,
but
actually, the negatives come from corporatism. It's not the small businesses or the independent business. It's the very powerful corporate businesses.
Yeah.
Because in that way, the free market allows them to really act without repercussions.
But really, the thing that needs to, the reason that corporations, that big old businesses are a problem, is because they have enough money to pay the government.
Exactly.
But if you didn't have a government, there wouldn't be anybody for those people to pay to make rules.
Yeah,
against your life.
There is that, but there's also, when you say that,
yep.
The only thing that comes up is there's this movie called Free Fire.
Okay.
And basically, it's this group of thieves and murderers and killers who all invested in this arms deal, and the shit hits the fan. And then it's just about 4 or 5 factions of people shooting at each other for an hour and a half. And that's what I imagine.
But you know that in that movie, there is a government in the world that movie takes place.
Well, no, but I'm using this as a analogy.
And they probably wouldn't have to be in the situation that they're in, doing what they're doing, if they weren't like under the thumb.
Well, this is a metaphor. I don't think it's a broader metaphor.
But this is the thing with the metaphors that people like to create, is they forget the role that the government actually plays.
Well, we could
it's like the metaphor of the government is a referee, when the fact is that they're not. They're another player in the game who plays by different rules.
Exactly.
But people look at them like the referee. So you have to reclassify these things in your head so you don't make the wrong metaphors.
They should. They're not.
They're not non-existent unless you let them in.
But you know what type of player they are?
What?
They're the player who owns the ball, and they're the player who gets to decide what rules are being played by. I think of it more as they're the player that brings a gun to the game, not the player that owns the ball, because we all share the ball. We're all playing the game with the ball. They're the player that comes in and says, "You listen to me, motherfucker. You put the ball in that goal for me." And we're not even going to talk about what the rules are because I'm in charge. In some respects, because I also think you're right about the rich having more power over that, and I think more so in changing the government. I mean, if we all just ate the rich, that would probably be a quicker, more effective solution. But I think people have to be ready, for chaos. I don't think there's no form of humanity, of government, of society that's not gonna exist without one, bloodshed if you're trying to change the status quo, and chaos. There's not going to be a perfect utopian society.
Look how much...
We need to get that out the way.
Look how much chaos we have when we have the biggest government that's ever existed on the planet. And look how much havoc there is on the world right now.
We've always had big governments, though.
But this is the biggest one that's ever... No, never as big as the United States government.
The Roman Empire wasn't big.
They didn't have F-18s.
No, exactly.
They didn't have machine guns.
Their spread, the Mongolian Empire, I'm talking about their reach.
But the rule, the amount of wealth that they steal from people and the amount of lives that they take
is
larger.
The wealth is larger because...
And the amount of lives that they take.
I don't know.
Which is how you rate the size of the
state. I don't know. Genghis Khan killed, like, a lot of people.
I mean...
Like a fraction of society.
There weren't as many people on the planet at the time.
Well, that's why I say about wealth, too.
The United States government kills millions of people a year. Just on its... And they starve even more that we don't even know about just with their sanctions and things that they...
The sanctions, yeah.
There's just all these things that the state does that we don't take account of.
Oh, no, and I'm not a state apologist at all. My whole thing is everything that's going to change for the good has to be incentivized by money. It really does. If you want good things to happen, it has to be incentivized by money.
But it already is, just by nature.
Some, but I feel like there's also incentive to not do things, to be apathetic, and that makes a lot of money. I think a lot of corporations are amoral sometimes, and instead of spending the money to make sure things are safe or sustainable, it's better to not say you're actively trying to make things worse, but you're not trying to make things better. You're not trying to spend the money because it's cheaper just to not. So when it becomes to a point where spending that money actually becomes profitable or cost effective for, your bottom line, then I think we can start seeing some change.
The thing with the who lets big corporations do those things, those nasty things to the environment?
The fucking government.
Yeah, they're the ones who, the government doesn't hold big companies responsible for doing those things. They just take a cut of the profit.
No, they don't. But
where if there wasn't a government and, if you owned a plot of land that a company ruined, you could sue that company. But today, if you tried to, the government would be like,
I think this is the thing you're missing here, though.
Okay.
Rich people not only control the government, they invented government. So I feel like there's a step, when you say you can get rid of the government, I'm like, yeah, but there's still rich people who are extremely powerful. The thing is to change those rich people or get rid of them. That's really, I feel like that's our only discourse.
Or to change, because there's only so many rich people.
Well, it depends on what we gotta classify what's rich. I'm talking about billionaires. Let's focus on billionaires.
There's 20 of them?
No, there's
150 of them?
No, there's a few thousand.
And then how many people are there?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, in a war, this is the thing that people forget, is that when the 99% of people fight the 1%, it doesn't matter where the money is, because the amount of bodies that you can put into a war like that, you just can't win. That's what a monarch's job is to do, is to keep his populace calm so that they don't come and rip his ass out with a hot corkscrew.
Exactly, and be honest, when you do that, that's also... Power is like a vacuum, so it's not going to go anywhere. Someone else is just going to take the power.
Well,
you can never get rid of. I literally don't believe there's going to be any.
Well, that's why the theory isn't that we need to constantly be getting rid of people in power. The theory is that we need to wake people up to the idea that you don't need people in power. People have been brainwashed by the state to believe that we need a state.
The thing is, no one needs people in power, of course. But people in power will subject people without power.
By convincing everybody that they need to be subjected to be safe.
But the thing is, that comes with violence. If it doesn't come with feeding them or paying them, it will come with violence.
But that violence can only, you have to convince people that they need you, and then you have to like kill off a couple people who resist to scare the rest of the people. But
that's what will happen.
But that's what will happen up until this point. But this is a new world. There's information out there. There's more people who have distrust in the government than there's also, as big as the government's been, there's more people who distrust it than ever before.
When you say government, when I think of government, it's like China. Like the government and corporations are the same.
Sure.
There's not a difference. So when you're saying government, to me, the government and the corporations are the same.
The government to me is people who are allowed to commit violence and people who are allowed to, like, steal.
The thing is, they can commit, and I get that, but people in power are allowed to commit violence too without impunity.
That's what I'm saying it is.
But
that's what that is.
And I get that, but the people who have the wealth are going to be able to do the same things that the government. The people who have wealth only use the government as a tool to enact the things that they want to do.
Yeah.
So when you say, I don't think getting rid of the government, you're curing a symptom, but you're not curing the disease.
That's why I'm saying we don't get rid of the government. We get rid of the idea that you need a government. That's the plan. We need to convince people, because you and me both agree that you really don't technically need a government, except for to protect you against people who believe you need a government. To protect you against the mob who's going to pay an army to invade you, you need to buy your own army. But if there wasn't a mob out there who believed that they needed an army to invade you, if we could convince the whole world.
I'm gonna say I think there's sections of humanity where I understand what you're saying, but I think you're putting too much faith in human individuals.
There's a lot of the world who has never been exposed to freedom before.
Yeah.
And as soon people, when they get freedom, shit starts changing in their brains, and it's gonna get good. The world's only gonna get better as long as we can start talking about these things.
The old adage: people feel freest when they can escape. But if that's from the frying pan into the fire. Sometimes freedom is like when we talk about, this is a great example, a pet, a turtle, frog, or something like that. And you're like, okay, they want to be free. I think I saw this on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Dee had like a rabbit. Like she found a rabbit in the wild. And Mac was like, the rabbit wants to be free. That rabbit wants to be happy in the nature with all its friends. And it probably does. But as soon as they let that rabbit go, a fucking hawk came down and swooped it up.
But don't you see, so what you're doing is you're comparing people to rabbits and the government to human beings. You're putting like the government, a ruling power in a society, as like a god, as like a higher power than us.
Well, a metaphor is only so powerful.
That's why you have to use the right metaphor. Wait. Imagine in Always Sunny. Yeah. Instead of a rabbit, it's just a stupid person. But they're holding him captive the way that they were the rabbit, and he wants to be free.
Okay, there's another episode, but that guy wasn't really in danger after he let them go. They were in more danger being captive by that guy.
That's the actual metaphor you should be using.
You know what?
We're people.
That's a pretty good metaphor. That's a better one.
You know?
That guy was in a lot more danger. Oh man! And then when they let him go, you know what they did? At the end of the show, they decided, you know what? Let's kidnap that guy again.
Yeah, that sounds about right. God damn it! Shit.
That does sound right. Oh man,
that's a good one. I love that show, by the way.
It's so
high level,
great, bro. It's a deeper commentary that people really don't notice in a lot of their episodes. Especially later on, like a deeper social commentary that you're just like, oh, like this actually trying to teach me something here. Like, okay. And 2, just the best idea for a show, I feel like. Just having 4 insufferable people, 5 actually, insufferable people, and just watching them get into hijinks.
They get into such good hijinks. And it's like so well written, and they have such good charisma together.
That's what the inspiration for Larry David was, or Curb Your Enthusiasm. Was to have, and a lot of shows have taken this, have one insufferable character that people love despite of that.
Yeah, I like that.
And then you can just do anything off of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch, this is unrelated, The League?
Man. No, I didn't because I thought it was too jockey. And it was like right when I stopped watching football.
I was watching that when I was like.
But it was like New Girl. It was the same. It was like this is too like.
But higher level comedy.
There is in both of them.
Really? Well, the League is way higher than New Girl.
New Girl has some funny shit, bro.
I agree. I'll give you that.
They really do. Like I didn't give them the credit they deserved.
Okay, maybe I could watch it again and I would see some more stuff. The League though is all improv.
Oh yeah, that's how Sunny is.
And they're all experts.
Yeah.
The people in it are all like I'm pretty sure they're all stand-ups.
Okay.
Or at least they're all improv. They're all comedians.
Okay, then yeah, that definitely. Of course.
If you watch The League now, if you started watching it, you would love it. Dude.
Okay, well
it's great.
If you got all, I always felt like if you're doing a comedy show, I'd rather have
Me too.
funnier people than better actors. I'd rather just fill it with funnier people than actors because actors just you need that for drama and for everything. There's so many things. There's so many like cues that make things funny. That a comedian is gonna get that. There's so many levels that a comedian can reach.
Comedic actors though, like Ben Stiller, when he's doing like a comedy role, I want to make sure that we're all. That's just not the theme of the show. Isn't really about us. We're gonna do a podcast later where we're.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I guess I'm not gonna try to like look cool, but straight up, I really appreciate
Will Ferrell is a great one.
Yes.
Will Ferrell is for comedic actors. I think he's the best.
Jason Segel.
Jason Jason Sudeikis,
Paul Rudd. One of my favorites.
I still think if we're talking about comedic actors, Will Ferrell is the guy.
He never did stand up, huh?
He probably did it early on.
You think so?
But he was really SNL popular.
Yeah.
I remember like his sets with Chris Farley. He's like one of those guys who like after Chris Farley died, kind of took that mantle of being the next, improv comedic physical actor. You got like David Spade or like Steve Martin or like. There's really not a lot of SNL guys from that.
Will Ferrell's so good.
He really. Or Jim Carrey.
I was thinking of Jim Carrey the whole time.
But that's a Living Color. That's not SNL. That's yeah. But he's in the same vein. Jim Carrey's more physical. Like he's like an athlete sometimes with his levels. And
Jim Carrey did stand up.
He did a little stand up. A lot of these guys did a little stand up, but. For comedy, it's usually like a lot of these actors usually go from stand-up. I'm not that good at making jokes, but I'm like writing jokes, but I'm really good at improvising scenes and being a funny character. So like Jim Carrey got famous off of In Living Color, like just being an improv guy.
There's, it's just never been easier to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
No, you're right, because you can be like as a creative too. As a creative, it's definitely a lot easier.
Or like for me as a plumber, like.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's never. Imagine like trying to get customers as a single plumber, not in a union, not in a company.
Yeah. Oh my god.
In the 80s or 90s.
Yes. Oh my god.
Where now I literally just have to hit up people on Facebook and Instagram to see if anybody wants my services, and I can make a plumbing business. I'm not a.
Yeah.
I'm not a plumber, but I can be one.
No. On
my own. Because it's 2020. That's
you
the
can
only
be
reason.
a podcast director. Like you're a director. You are a director.
That's a great point.
As a credit. I'm a fucking. You put on shows. I put on shows. You're a showrunner and promoter.
It's fun.
We've already done that.
But that's the thing is like that's what we get to do going forward. And I hope more people start to because I think a lot of people don't know that that's what's happening.
Oh yeah.
Or they do and they don't know what to do about it, and I think we just need. I personally need more people. Like I try to tell my ex-wife really likes baking, so I try to tell her like you could just start posting pictures of your baked goods.
So yeah,
and then you could be the Portland baker. Like there's no reason you.
My sister's doing that. My sister's in North Carolina, and she's just been selling her baked goods. I'm actually seeing a stripper who's been doing that, who's just been selling baked goods. And posting it and making money. And of course, she also sells edibles and shit like that. But, like, yeah, like, it's really easy. There's no, like, gateway. There's no doorkeeper being like, oh, you gotta do it this way. You gotta do this, this, and this. Like, you got the thing, the access that you want. It's already in your hands.
But it's weird because, a lot of people signed off the idea of working for themselves a long time ago. But they didn't realize why they were signing that idea off. They just have it in. A lot of people just have it in their head like, oh, you don't really just go work for it. You don't just go work. You have to go find it. You have to get a job.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. You can do both.
Right.
You gotta make a sacrifice. No, you can't watch Desperate Housewives at 6 p.m. Like, no, go ahead and post shit on Instagram and do that shit.
I think it's also, but it's gonna become a necessity. I think in the future. I think jobs, like companies, doing a lot of things. There's a lot of jobs are gonna go away, and unless you want to start picking up the new jobs that come in to replace them.
So a lot of people aren't. I mean, they're out there, but a lot of people don't want to do. Like a lot of people don't think they want to do tech, but it's...
The new security is doing it for yourself, I think. That's the new... Instead of finding a good big company to sit with, we don't know which companies are going to make it.
I think the new security is multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
Do some corporate gig, and then do your own shit.
Having skills.
Yes, but I feel like, because I've done both. I've done the thing where I worked just a 9 to 5 fully. I did the thing where I just did my own thing and just sold weed, The weed shit, I'm be honest, doing that was actually a lot more profitable and a lot more freeing and everything. But realizing now that I'm doing both, I'm like, I should have been doing this a long time ago. It's just putting both into me, investing all that money into me instead of like saying I gotta do one or the other. Because either way, like, fuck it, I need the money, or I want the money.
You were, the reason not the reason, but I haven't asked anybody else to do this. By the way, guess what? There's a couple dots that are not in the right spot. And that's kind of part of the game sometimes. Oh well. That's why you pick me.
This up.
Classic. But this was like you were the first one to verbalize this show.
Oh yeah.
The first time you came on the podcast. So I was like, well, we got to get Drew in here, and if he's coming in, we got to do a tattoo because this is obviously like the game.
I created this show.
There we go. I'm gonna put that at the beginning of it.
Yo, give me the creator credit.
At least for the time being, that'll be the intro to every episode of this.
Oh man.
Even some of this arrow has like a rounded tip. And it just happens too.
Oh well.
It's just like art.
I don't know. I usually get tattoos for the memories, not for the specific art of it. Like, I like to look at it and be like, oh yeah, I got this because of this book I read. I got this VA because that's where I'm from. I got this because I was mad drunk and and I needed some ink.
I like to. Did you ever play Far Cry?
No.
So there's a Far Cry game where every time you get a new skill tree power up.
Because your tattoo?
Yeah, it adds to your tribal sleeve.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So when you're end, you have a full sleeve, but as it goes, it picks the ones. So it's scattered for a while and then it builds.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how I like to do mine, where it's okay, I just learned a lot about jealousy. Let's get a tattoo and fucking remember this.
I want to, there's one tattoo that I want really bad. There's a couple. So all my other tattoos are kind of dictated off of that one. I don't know if you watched Full Metal Alchemist.
No, I know I should though.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I bet I'd
one of the better animes out there. But there's an antagonist with a tattoo that just blows people up. I'm like, that's what I want.
Oh, is it the Clover thing?
No, from Black Clover. No, I do want that.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's a cool symbol.
The 5-leaf clover.
It's a sick, sick symbol.
Actually, the bottom part of my arm, I'm going to dedicate to putting symbols from animes. Some Full Metal Alchemist, some Dragon Ball Z, some Black Clover.
That's sick.
But the tattoo I wanted was from Full Metal... Oh, yeah, already.
What is it? What's it look like?
It's a weird one to really describe. The thing they use in that show is called a... what's it called? A transmutation circle?
Yeah.
So it's alchemy, but alchemy is the thing you need to do this skill is to have... And it's accessible to anybody, but the thing you need is the ingredients for the transmutation. So it's just like science. You know what I mean? And then you need a transmutation circle to be the energy for that science. So say you wanted to make like water. I don't know. And you had hydrogen and you had oxygen. If you just had those elements around, you can make water. You just need to make a circle to fucking, do that. So this guy has this tattoo that literally, I don't even know what the tattoo's for, or like what's supposed to do. But every time he touches somebody, he obliterates them. And for some reason, I was like, okay, that's cool as fuck. But of course, it's not gonna work. I mean, I don't know.
It's like a cool. It's okay. So it's like a circle with symbols in it.
Circle with symbols in it, but of course, it's encompassing in his arm. You know what I mean?
Like that.
Yeah. Like it's literally his whole sleeve.
But it's a circle wrapped around it.
No. So it's just little. Oh, you know what? I actually sent this to a tattoo artist. To do. Yeah, let me do it on here. Oh man, alrighty.
Oh here.
Oh boom. Ooh. Wow.
Oh, that's fucking wild.
It's nuts. I like it a lot. And then, I mean, of course,
okay. I'm gonna have some elements like that in my sleeve. Like so behind all this stuff, I'm gonna do some weird little.
That's like taking up the whole sleeve, and then that's taking up kind of just the shoulder, and I think that's what I'm gonna go for. It's somewhere in between both of these.
Okay. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense to go in between those two.
Yeah.
There's probably like that would be like probably a better tattoo. If it's like just half your arm.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
But I liked it, one, because you can actually choose how much space you want to take up with it.
Yeah, I like Magic.
The card game?
Well,
Magic
yes.
the Gathering?
Well, yes, but I also just like, I was just talking about regular Magic, but Magic the Gathering's dope too. Do you like Magic the Gathering? My
nerd card game was Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, yeah, fair. I grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh!, but that's when I was a little kid, so...
Yeah. I think there's only two... It's really just Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering that people play.
There's a Star Wars one.
Ew.
And, like, there's, like, other mixed reality. There's, like, other...
Like, people who play Pokemon, the card game, I'm like, fuck you.
If you're playing it, you're... If you even know some of the rules from the Pokemon card game, you're fucking crazy.
Like, who are you?
You're studying the wrong shit.
They're like, oh, you need to get an energy card. I'm like, fuck you. Like, if you're just... I respect collecting the cards just for collecting them. But people who play that shit, I'm like, that's a dumb game to play. You might as well just play Yu-Gi-Oh! A card game that's meant to be played as a card.
It's a card game.
It's a card game. The show is a card game. That's all it is. I don't want to play a game adapted into a card game. Or a show adapted into a card game.
Pokemon don't use energy. They just fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the energy thing fucking... I hated that. Because no one's going to buy energy cards. I'm going to buy the Pokemon. Why would I spend money on an energy card?
I only have so many slots in my binder.
Exactly.
Why would I fill up 2 pages with just fucking...
The energy cards?
Emblems.
Like, the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! It was cool to have different cards. It was best, like, if you had a duplicate, you probably had a couple of duplicates of Magic cards and Trap cards. But Pokemon, you literally need to have duplicates of, like, 20 of, like, electric energy, fire
they all
energy.
look exactly the same.
And they all look the same. It's like, why?
You know what's cool about Magic the Gathering is the artwork.
That's the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yo, though, the artwork on Magic the Gathering is, like, next level.
Bro, have you seen the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards they came out with?
I guess maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. I remember playing it, but then Magic the Gathering is, like, very...
The backgrounds on Magic the Gathering is what gets me, because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards don't really use backgrounds for their monster characters. But all the monster characters in Magic the Gathering have a dope... and a contrast.
It's all a scene where it's, like, she's, like, attracting a nymph, or she's, like...
Exactly.
He's got, like, a lightning bolt coming down on a tower, and it's like, whoa.
Now, the Magic and Trap cards for Yu-Gi-Oh! Would have that. But the monsters, they kind of just left them on their own and be...
Yu-Gi-Oh! Upgraded? Did Yu-Gi-Oh! Become, like, adult status when I was not looking?
No, but the worst part about the new Yu-Gi-Oh! characters or monsters is they're all starting to have like this weird type. Like you're really able to like date them. You know what I mean? Kind of like Pokemon, to where you can be like, oh, that's a new Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's kind of that same thing where it's not. You can kind of tell it's like New Portland architecture, where you're seeing the style and you're like, oh, less creativity is being made in these. These are starting to be made in like some cookie cutter form. So that just happens when things are successful for a long time, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like the new Pokemon.
No, I don't like the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I mean, I love new graphics on old Pokemon.
Yeah.
Always support that.
But you see like these round edges on the Pokemon, and like they all have not like a tattoo, but like a print. You know what I mean? Like every new Pokemon has like a. You know how Aang has like the arrows?
Yeah.
Every new Pokemon has something like that.
They're all like magic.
Yeah, they all have some. They all have some spot that has the potential to glow up, or you know what I mean. Like they don't make them just like a regular. They're like, okay, let's make sure they have round edges. Let's make sure they have those patterns that could like power up or glow up. Let's make them like these weird color patterns. It's always like a primary, a pastel color, and like a dark, like a navy maroon color. Like, oh.
Yeah, the round edges, I never really identified that, but that's exactly what I'm thinking is like
when you think of a new Pokemon, like
the
you don't
look
think
that
of
I'm
like
not
of like
into. It doesn't look real.
No.
Pokemon used to look like they could actually like
they could be regular animals.
I used to think they might be.
That's you know what you just said was better than all the other things I've been using to qualify them. Yeah, they don't look like real animals anymore.
Yeah, like a Rattata.
Yeah,
it's just a
like
mouse,
this guy.
But it's purple.
This is the perfect example right here. And this is the same color pattern. Look at the pastel colors.
Well, when you pull out legendary Pokemon, you're definitely, jumping into some territory. But yeah, exactly that, where it's like...
The guy's mane is a shield.
Which is pretty sick.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, Blastoise had cannons.
Yeah, but I'm just like, okay, let's go...
The emblems, I see what you mean by that, where it's like... Why is everything have a symbol on it? What?
Like the new Vulpix variations?
Oh, I actually don't know anything about that.
Boom, look at these guys.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, they're pretty dope too. I mean, you know what? This is the tricky thing.
Like,
you know what? Here's
this is a new Pokemon. That's a new Pokemon.
We might just be the dudes who are like whining about mumble rap.
Oh my god, you're right.
You know?
I never want to be that dude. I've always been like, oh, let me hear the new rappers that are coming out now. But I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them do suck. But they've always been shitty rappers.
Yeah, it's like who's the focus of who's being pushed on you. Because there's also really good rappers out there.
Yeah, young rappers.
There's people today who are better than anybody who's ever,
Yeah, you're right though. You're definitely right.
I just haven't met him yet.
And I don't want to be that guy being like, I don't want to be like, Michael Jordan is the best player ever.
Never,
and there's
ever.
no way. I'm like, LeBron went to 8 finals straight.
I don't
He's
know
not in consideration?
Didn't people decide he's better?
No, it's still widely.
Up in the air.
It's still widely. It's not up in the air. Most people would say Michael Jordan. Me, I'm
Why?
like, one, we've already seen the totality of Michael Jordan's career, so right now it's easy to be like, okay, Michael Jordan was the best because LeBron's not finished, so we can't really judge LeBron yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The story's not over, so it's kind of hard. But also, LeBron's lost in the finals. That's really what it is. Michael Jordan was undefeated in the championships. LeBron's lost 6 of them. But he's been to 10 of them. And Michael's only been to 6. So it's like people are punishing LeBron for getting to the finals, but you know what I mean?
I do hear you.
They're like, it's better to lose in the first round or the Eastern Conference Finals than to lose in the championship game, which makes no sense. So you really don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to LeBron James or Michael Jordan. If somebody asks you who's the best basketball player to ever live, you'd go.
I literally have to correct in my brain Michael Jordan from like I have to
Oh
go.
my god!
When I hear the word Michael Jordan, I have to go. Okay, not Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm like not even in that, and then I have to go. Okay, wow. wait. Is LeBron James the one who just died in the helicopter crash?
Oh my god!
You know, like.
Oh my god! R.P. Kobe.
I just have no. I just have no experience. I have.
Wow.
I don't. It's like it's like I didn't even know they were fighting dogs. You know.
Oh my god.
But I know that. I can't even say that I know that people argue about it.
Okay, so let me give you, I guess, the rundown of this, because you're looking at this from the outside, so maybe you'd have a better perspective of who you'd actually think was a better player.
I always usually go, and this is just based on my opinion of comedians, is people get better over time. So, like, probably the new guy, whichever one that is.
Yeah,
is probably better.
And I think when it's all said and done, it will be LeBron James. But so the thing about Michael Jordan was that he won 6 championships, right? But in the finals, he never lost. Like in the final series, they play like a 7-game series, so it's not just one game. But in those series, it only went 6 games. You can only go from 4 to 6 or 4 to 7. Game 7's like the biggest game in like sports, because there's no games after that. So Michael Jordan was like, okay, no game is gonna go to a game 7. That's why he's legendary, because he was like, I won 6, I never lost, I was the best player each time, and I never let it go to a game 7 to where it was even a question if we were gonna win. That's why people love Michael Jordan. But let me tell you, there was a guy who was on a team who was the most complete basketball player you ever seen. He could score, play defense, rebound, pass. And no matter what team he was ever on, even though he wouldn't win it, he would get you to the final series. Which person would you take in that scenario? Would you take a person who always made the best of his opportunities when he got there? Or the person who got you there with an opportunity almost every year?
See, that almost sounds like...
I wish I had an analogy for that.
See, that almost sounds like a business decision.
It really is.
And that's not how I would look at it. I would assume that that LeBron is better the same way that... I would imagine that just like if Michael Jordan played in a modern league, he wouldn't perform as well.
No.
Not if he trained with, but if like him with his skill level at that time and his idea of like
you put him in a vacuum.
Yes.
And so he doesn't have any of the training, you took Michael Jackson out from 1996, scooped him up from the time machine and put him right here.
Yep.
In there.
The same way that I go, I don't like George Carlin.
Because you can't put him in a vacuum and he still have the same.
If he performed today, his material today.
There's 2 George Carlins though. That's the thing you don't realize.
Well, it's not really. I'm not really talking about that. I mean, like it's like his jokes wouldn't work today.
I think early George Carlin jokes would. Later, George Carlin is not funny because he's trying to like be like a teacher.
Well, I mean, like his writing style. His writing mind, he would get funny in today's culture, but if he but he would have to like learn new skills.
But the hard thing about George Carlin is there's 2 literally different variations of George Carlin. It's kind of like 2 different variations of the Beatles.
So take his best one. Take the Beatles.
See,
and have him perform it today. It really wouldn't work because we've seen it a million times. Because they already did it.
And that's the problem
with
doing that.
About
that's
Michael Jordan.
Well, that's the problem with doing that with the Beatles, though, is because they were so influential in what's already here.
Right.
To put them in a vacuum and not give them credit for what they've already influenced is kind of weird.
But it's like, okay, so then you take that same thing, and you take it with, like, let's say bodybuilders or like weightlifters. There's stronger, better bodybuilders today than there were in the 70s.
Yes.
Even though the ones in the 70s were influential to the ones today, they can't compete.
But here's the thing. One, comedy is a less of a meritocracy as bodybuilding and basketball because it's subjective. Two,
basketball's not subjective though; it's wins. Okay,
no, that's what I'm saying. Comedy is subjective. Comedy's subjective.
Yeah, I was going like past.
Yeah. Like anybody can lift more. Like Jesse Owens is the greatest track runner of all time. Is he the fastest? No, that's Usain Bolt. So what I think you have to do is compare people to their contemporaries at that time. So compare how much better Michael Jordan was to his contemporaries than LeBron James is to his contemporaries.
Yeah.
And even then, I think it's kind of a wash because they're literally so dominant.
This is like the same problem I have with talking politics. Is that I go, both sides are wrong. Because you're not even looking at the issue the right way. You keep talking about wins, and it's like being good at basketball isn't necessarily about wins. It's about like how good. Like if you took Michael Jordan's body and played him against LeBron James's body and their minds where they are and who they are now.
LeBron James would dominate Michael Jordan. And that's the thing people don't understand.
I'm saying about the Beatles, and it's the same thing I'm saying about Arnold Schwarzenegger. They don't compete with the modern era.
But
it gets better over time.
But that's the thing. See, now we're splitting hairs because there's one thing if we talk about who's better and who's greater.
Right.
That's greatness.
Right. Yes.
Greatest basketball player of all time is Michael Jordan. Best basketball player of all time is LeBron James, bro.
There you go.
The best is LeBron James. Because sometimes you can achieve greatness without being that good.
Right.
You can.
Well, look at exactly.
That's the thing with the underdog. The underdog achieves greatness because he doesn't have the talent.
It's like so innovations are rarely made successful by the innovator.
No, it's always the person who comes along afterwards
and takes what he created and runs with it.
The light bulb with Edison.
Yep. McDonald's. Yeah.
God, the 3D printer.
Sure. I
the first guys who did that, they're in anonymity. There's a whole bunch of other. That shit looks so fucking clean.
We'll go over
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It'll be even like one more. It'll be like slightly better. It's a stick and poke.
No, it's good though. I actually like how the sharp is coming off. Actually,
it's just like there's something about
like I'm more focused on the lines than the arrows, but I gotta be honest, the lines are. I don't know. I like them.
I like it a lot. This is like probably one of my favorite stick and pokes I've given. I'm just, I have a critical eye, so there's certain things. But then the other thing that I always love to remember is you can see how raised it is. Yeah. It's swollen, so the skin is stretched out. Yeah. So it's going to get tighter as it.
Exactly.
Exactly. My favorite part is like tomorrow it's just like I love this. This is like one of my favorite like art forms that I've gotten into. It's like really brought me out a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah, I haven't got a lot of tattoos, but I think because I was too concerned about perfection and getting the right tattoo. But it's not so much about the art. It's the story that it tells to you. I can look at this and be like, oh man, yeah, this was the time when I was in Portland in my life where I was friends with Bram and we did fucking podcasts, Like, I want to look at that and remember that. I don't like to, just be like, oh, yeah, I got this great artwork done by this tattoo artist from yada, yada, yada. Like...
Yeah. There's, a balance of caring caring too much and not caring enough with tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, I have some careless tattoos where it's like, okay, well...
Yeah, of course. This one, I'm going to get covered. I feel like this one right here, I'm like... Not even going to get covered, but I paid a guy $200 to do this tattoo. And, the least he could have done was make sure the lines were clean. Out of all my tattoos, I think this one's the only one where I'm going to get covered up.
That one?
Because it wasn't connected to an actual memory or something. I was really just drunk. And I was I wanted to get a tattoo.
It's dope though.
It is dope.
What about that?
It's from Dragon Ball Z, which I'm like, it's one of my favorite animes. And
you'd get that covered up?
I'm gonna get it not covered up, but it's gonna be the same exact thing.
Just because
tighter. Like the lines were not tight at all.
Oh,
like, if you look close, like the lines are just.
Okay, I get that.
For a guy who's like had the gun as a tattoo artist, like for a stick and poke, yeah, I don't give a fuck. If this was a stick and poke, I'd be like, what the fuck? This is fucking dope as fuck.
No, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I thought you meant like replaced with a different tattoo.
Oh no!
And I was like, whoa, what? That's cool.
No.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I have one. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, out of all mine, this is the only one I would get touched up.
I can just touch up all my tattoos myself.
Oh my god!
For the rest of my life. Anytime I want to let's do this little line here and clean up make this thicker. And
did you actually give me some needles and some ink last time I was here?
I don't think so.
Cause I remember.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know what it was, but after I got these done, I remember getting some needles, or maybe I got them myself. But I don't know where I got the ink from. But I was touching up this tattoo.
That's fun.
Yeah, but I don't. Maybe it was from the girl who actually gave me this tattoo. That actually makes more sense. I think she left it. Yeah. She left it. I really would like to get a tattoo for every woman I have sex with. That would be awesome.
Especially if they could be if you could have them representative.
Oh, because this is actually not even as the girl was cool, but just of oh, you know what? I'm gonna really start not hoeing, but before when I was in high school, college, I didn't feel confident with women, and it wasn't until I visited Portland for the second time and started getting on Tinder, I was like, oh, you know what? Bitches like me.
Yeah.
And this tattoo is kind of a symbol of that.
That's this one.
Oh.
Yeah, I inspired a girl to get into tattooing.
Oh.
So she gave me that one for free, and I was like, oh, thanks. I couldn't have done that myself.
That's clean, though.
It's okay.
I like that, yeah.
She did okay.
And her name's Sheila?
No, that's my mom's name.
Oh, see, that's what it is. They always get... I was going to say, usually when guys get that tattoo, it says mom on it.
Yeah.
Or your mom's name on it. But that's oh, yeah, bitches like me. Bitches love me.
That was Kevin's idea to get Sheila. He thought that'd be funny, and I think he was right.
I should get that. Yeah, I'll definitely get my mom's name tatted on me somewhere. Just to have a girl ask that question. Mm-hmm. Who's Sheila?
Exactly.
I love
so
it.
Fun.
Oh, yeah, it was actually my mom. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Fuck yes! Oh my god, I'm doing it. I'm gonna get my mom and all my sisters tatted on.
Yeah. The only tricky thing with tattoos is they're on your body, and your whole body's there when you're naked.
Okay.
Like when I'm naked, I have my mom's name on my naked body.
But you don't have to look at that.
But you do. If you're looking at your own body.
Yeah, but not while you're having sex.
Sometimes it just sneaks in. Then you're like, shit.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind.
You're like, fuck.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, don't put it on your pubis or something.
Yeah.
You can. There's a limit.
I'm gonna get them on my back, the back of my elbows and shit.
Yeah, good idea. Hide it.
No, I felt that way with a girl who had a kid tattooed on her. I
was right.
It was like a portrait of a baby. I was like,
right. That's hardcore.
I was like, you don't get it right on this thigh right here that I'm kissing? Like, damn.
Yeah. Wait, do you know that is it okay?
I just kissed your baby in the mouth.
Is it Jesus Christ. Is this okay? Yeah, that's really.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, are you allowed to touch the their baby's names tattooed?
I don't know. I had a girl who had a tattoo of it was like an abortion. No, not an abortion, a miscarriage tattoo. and it was right on her stomach, and that shit was. I tried to stay clear of that one.
Word.
I had to stay clear of that one.
Yeah, it's all memories.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I don't know if we touched that part. It'd be weird if she asked me to.
You ever smack a girl around a little bit?
Not in sex. Now, I do know a comedian who's not going to be named, a Portland comic, who has confided in me and told me he'd smack somebody around. And that was like a real, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I've met anybody who's raped anybody. But, again, the definition of rape is really weird now, so maybe I have. Maybe I have. The fuck? I don't even know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say this right now.
Do you really want to? Are you sure?
Under the clear definition, I remember my girlfriend of 5 years at the time, we had a trip to DC, and we did some Molly, and it was like later in that night. I woke up, I moved the car for parking, for street sweeping, and I came back, and we had sex, and I talked about it that morning. She's like, I don't remember that. So technically I have.
Yeah,
technically I have. She was
actually,
cool with it.
Actually, no.
She was cool.
I think we have to resist that. I don't think that is.
Okay.
That's okay to do.
I'm just saying, under the whatever, you know.
That's like the new rules. We can't listen to the new rules.
I think it's everything's so circumstantial. Because I remember my homie said that. It's like, if you get drunk and you have sex with a girl, it's only rape depending on how much she likes you.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. If she didn't like you before you were drinking, that's what it is. If she didn't like you before you were drinking, but decided to have sex with you after, maybe that's rape. I don't know. I feel like there's maybe some more information we should have.
Well, then it even comes into like how you perform, how well you do.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Damn.
You know.
Oh my god.
Or like if you're like nice in the morning.
I know. Oh my god.
Like if you kick him out, you could just like really fuck everything up.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You might have to like.
Things could be consensual until you kick them out, and then it's
breakfast. It's the only way to be safe.
You really got to be nice to women after you have a one night stand. I've had a few one night stands, and some of them I didn't know they were one night stands until after the fact. Like, you know, they don't want to see you anymore, or
especially if you know, I mean.
But yeah, say if you meet a girl and you have fun in the morning, and in the morning you just kick her out. Or not even in the morning, so you just kick her out after the fact.
Yeah, remediate. Especially if it's like kind of rough.
Oh my god!
And then you're like, okay, that was fun, bye.
Bye! I mean, she's gonna feel raped. Even, let's say she not even got raped. She'll feel raped.
She'll at least feel ashamed.
Ashamed.
And that's enough for her to go, hey.
Maybe that's rape, exactly.
I could at least put this off on him.
Feelings over facts.
He's a dick, so he deserves, yeah.
Feelings over facts. I know, that's why I am kind of like overly a gentleman to women. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I've definitely been disrespectful to women before. So that makes me anxious.
I actually have
going forward. It's like, oof. Hope that doesn't bite me in the ass. There's
only one woman who I've ever been, I would say, nasty towards, and that was actually the most recent. It was a weird thing. Like, she dumped me the week before Valentine's Day.
Okay, so you were nasty, huh?
Yeah, because I called her a whore.
Did she deserve it? Wait, did you just call her a whore? Is that like the worst thing you did?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I didn't
You didn't like slap her around?
No, never.
Yo, you're good.
Oh no, I never ever, unless it's in the bed, I never fucking gotten like physical. One, it's a winning cause. And, you know, I have a friend who's a very good friend, who's a pimp, who was a pimp. And early he told me, look, if you have to hit her, you already lost her. Mm-hmm. And I always internalized that. I never thought I was going to be a pimp, but that always was in my head. I was like, I'm never going to, like, if a woman ever brings me to that sort of anger, then I'm just bye.
Yeah, my mom raised me right, so I never even
thought
about hitting women. I'd have to have a pimp tell
No,
me.
now here's the question. I have wanted to hit women I haven't been dating. I have wanted to hit some women, some random women on the street. Not random, of course, but like some women that like just came across passing me being out and have been hella disrespectful. I have wanted to hit those women before because I hit men for less. You know what I mean? So, in that respect, I have wanted to. I remember one incident very vividly, like 3 years ago, on New Year's. Me and my roommate and my best friend were out, and for some reason at this party, my roommate wanted to play fight an actual real fighter. Like this guy was like an MMA fighter, like an amateur MMA fighter, and he decided he wanted to play fight this guy. And the MMA fighter was like, leave me alone. And my friend was like, egging him on, and to the point he was like, do what you do. And the MMA fighter literally leg swept him. And while my friend was in the air, like he leg swept him and my friend was literally in the air. My roommate was literally in the air. And as he was in the air, he pushed him. And he went at least like 5 to 10 feet.
Whoa.
Like he flew across the room. Like the timing was perfect.
That's hardcore.
That's hardcore.
That's like fight movie.
And he was embarrassed. It was like he didn't even get that hurt. You know what I mean? It was a leg sweep and a push.
It was just like a force.
Exactly. It was a force of nature that just swept him up.
Wild.
So
yeah,
at this party, my roommate is talking to this random girl and brings her home, or like she wants to fuck him. So as he's getting, or after he gets leg swept and pushed across the room, he's embarrassed. He wants to go home. We leave. Me and my best friend, we leave, and we leave with this rando girl who he's gonna fuck. Now, as we're in the car, I don't want to leave the party, so I'm like, bro, you know you brought that about yourself, right? Like you shouldn't play fight a real fighter. So the random girl starts defending him. The random girl's like, you shouldn't talk to him like that. I'm like, who the fuck are you? She gets so mad, she throws her drink on me.
Oh.
Yes. At that point, I'm like, okay, I want to hit her. It was a new sweater I was wearing. It was white.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to hit this girl. I really do. And you can't, luckily, it's not even luckily, but like, I told my roommate, I was like, yo, she can't come into our house. Either she leaves or I'm going to swing on you. And I guess he was like drunk or incoherent. I don't know what happened, but he wasn't trying to hear it. So I fought him instead of her.
Right.
I literally punched him instead of like, I feel bad for this day. I'm like, there's no reason for me to assault him, to hit him.
You know, like
she really should have caught that wreck, or at least I should have thrown a drink on her. Maybe I didn't need to punch her. That was too strong of a thing to do.
Girls are always getting dudes into fights, and you know, I think about like when people complain about toxic men, like how men commit all the violence. Nobody talks about how like half of the violence men commit is for women. Because the women want them to do this violent thing.
Bro, can we just talk about this thing where women have made themselves like the victims in every relationship?
Well, dude, okay.
Every relationship?
Yes. Yes.
Every time a relationship, it's the guy's fault. I'm just like, bro, I was literally just out of it was a relationship. What did Jada Pinkett call it? Entanglement.
Nice, nice.
I was seeing this girl for like 6 months. I was telling you about the girl who I met when she was like 19. I was seeing for like 6 months, from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Cute.
The week before Valentine's Day, she breaks up with me.
Rude.
What the like? That's like, and of course, if I say that, it was like, well, it's not all women. But if someone says, "Oh, men are the worst. Men always treat me like shit," it's like, "Oh yeah, men are the worst. You gotta co-sign on that." I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Are men more violent? Yes.
Yeah.
But are they worse in relationships? I don't know about that.
Violence is the worst thing you can do.
Yes.
Emotional manipulation is the second worst thing you can do. Women emotionally manipulate more often than men commit violence. But it's not as bad as violence. In fact, it doesn't cross the line the way that violence crosses the line.
It doesn't become close.
So you don't even look at it because you only look at violence. But when you look at quantity of emotional manipulation...
women got that.
If you did the numbers...
Oh my god, they're the champs!
To emotional manipulation, it's probably pretty equal, like, actual effect on the world.
That's a hard one. Well, here's the thing. If the emotional manipulation leads to violence,
which it inevitably always does, so then you can even like take those points and shift them over to women.
I don't know if they always do, but
blame women for everything. It's all their fault, dude.
You know what? You know what's really crazy? I'm like, when people talk about men, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but when I see every person transitioning. Like, especially transitioning to male. Yeah. Like, I don't understand why anybody wanted to transition into being a man. Because you're going to catch this misogyny flack. You're not... If you want to join the club, you got to join the misogyny club, bro. You got to be in it. You got to be, like... I'm not saying you got to be misogynist, but you got to catch this flack. You got to catch this male flack. To where when people are like... Men suck. I hate men. Like, you got to be a part of that group.
Well, sometimes I feel like we actually do have a lot of, like, lesbians on our team.
Oh, yeah. Lesbians are terrible to each other.
Against, like, this war, Like, straight men and there's a lot of, like, dyke lesbians who, like, are just fed up with the bullshit.
Well, there's a lot of dyke lesbians who are, like, kind of terrible to their partners as well.
Dude, they're like the most violent. That's like...
Oh, I didn't even mean violence. I just meant the emotional manipulation part.
Lesbians commit like the majority of domestic violence.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's like where most of the fighting is in gay couples and lesbian couples.
I gotta
that's like... Trust me, just trust me.
Okay.
And then we'll go forward with the... Yeah. Assuming that that's true.
Oh man, all feelings, no facts. I love it. But I do see that. I always wondered about domestic violence cases, like with two gay men.
Well, think about it. Men aren't hitting women as much as women are hitting women and men are hitting men. Just by nature.
You're right though. I never even thought about it like that. You would just be. Yeah, it's like so much of a fight is kind of like sizing up based. Like, you gotta size up.
Exactly.
Like, I remember when I hit my friend from New Year's, I only hit him 1 or 2 times because I was like, I could really hurt this person. Like, I could probably kill this person. Like, he didn't work out at all. Like, he didn't, he was like 5'7", didn't work out, played video games. I was like, if I wanted to, I could really seriously damage this person. This is almost like hitting a woman. Right. I shouldn't have said that.
Almost. Yeah. It's almost like... It's not the same.
Almost!
It's not the same as hitting, because I don't...
Because a 5'7" woman with his same activity is still weaker than he
Every woman who's ever been punched by a man doesn't understand that man gave them 30%. Men aren't wailing off on their girlfriends the way that they would on a man.
I don't know. Remember that video of Snooki on Jersey Shore?
No.
Snooki took a mean... It was so hard to watch.
Do you think it was like his 100% punch?
It was like 85.
Really?
Yeah. It was at least... He was drunk.
She's a crazy bitch. Oh, drunk dudes. That's a good point.
He was drunk, so it was a lot. And I remember...
Girl. Okay, you know what? I'm going to delete that part of the episode. So
I'm going to say, because I remember actually my ex had a sex worker friend who got fucked up by like a random black dude on the street. And it was like...
That's sad.
It was so sad, especially because I had to know the detail. He was a black dude. I don't know why I told that,
but I think they're way easier to fuck up. Like,
sex work?
No,
but she was like,
I just mean like the difference between a man and a woman in a fight.
Of course.
Women don't even know the women who have been in fights don't know how much worse it could, like.
Yeah, especially for a guy who works out regularly.
And like knows, I mean,
like do basic strength training. And
a girl who's been beat by her boyfriend would say, "Oh no, I've been beat up," but it's like, no, if he was fighting me, he would punch even harder.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Is like
you kind of do pull your punches with someone who's
with a small woman who's falling down after the first.
If
punch.
I'm playing a basketball game with kids, I'm not going to be backing them down into the paint.
But then a woman who's been beat up by a man would think, well, then I could stand a fight against a smaller man than that guy. But they're so wrong.
Well, there's different. Like
for
2021.
What I'm saying is, like, I could beat up pretty much any woman who doesn't have skills fighting, who doesn't have martial arts training.
I wouldn't say any. I'm going to give you
any.
75%.
75%?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Serena Williams.
For me, yes, I agree.
Would not stand a chance.
No,
Serena Williams would fuck you up.
There's some big chicks out there.
I was like...
but listen, I'm not even a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm just a dude. I'm an average dude.
And
I could fight 75%.
You can fight 75% of the women. How many? You could probably fight 15%, 25% of 35. I don't know.
You can go lower. You can give me lower. That's fine with me at all. I'm not like a fighting guy. I'm really good at avoiding fights, I think. Luckily. You're like trying to give me extra, like, no, I can bring it back down. No, I'm good.
I don't think you have military background.
I don't need this. I don't need I know who I am.
But no, when I fight dudes, especially now that I'm over in my adulthood, like, I fought a lot in my formative years. As an adult, I probably fought maybe 2 people as an adult.
Okay.
Like, because you never know. You could look at, for guys, you could look at a small guy and he could just be technical and that could beat you as a man.
The thing with people who are willing to fight as adults is they're crazy and they know how to fight.
Yes.
And you don't want to fight crazy people who know how to fight.
Yes.
Unless you're crazy and you know how to fight.
The last fight I got in was that roommate I was talking about. Before that, I was at a party. I ran into somebody who stole from me, and I wanted to fight him.
That's fun.
And he laughed in my face, and I stole off on him. I just hit him like one flush face shot into the face, and then everybody broke it up. But I'm trying to get to this man, and there's this little guy. He's got to be like 5'8", like maybe 160 pounds, and he gets on my back. And of course, it's not like we squared up, but he's already on my back. And he's like, hey, man, if you don't calm down, I'm going to choke you out. And I'm like, fuck it. It's like a gnat. Like, I'm literally still supporting my weight with him on my back. I'm like, I'm just going to rip this guy off of me. And this man was so technically sound that he actually put me to sleep.
Damn.
It was crazy.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I was like, maybe if we were like squared up and I like saw him coming, maybe I could have done something. But this guy, he wrestled in high school. Like, this guy can wrestle. Like, wrestle. And I really didn't stand a chance from that point.
Oof. Yeah, I just don't know I don't know why or what it is, but fighting is just nowhere near. It's just never even entered my mind as like something.
As a kid, it was. I was like, yeah, I'll fight.
I love roughhousing.
Yeah. But
I've never had the urge, like, time to fucking fight this guy. Never. Even when I was getting mugged, I was like, I'm just gonna wait for this to be over. I'm fucking done with this shit.
So I got a bump on my head from when a motherfucker, like, hit me on a sink.
Ooh!
Yes. So you can feel it actually right here.
That's okay. Here. You know when I trust you. I'm alright.
But yeah, he hit me over, like, he hit my thing. And the thing is, I was trying to do it to him. And it was like, there was like a wrestling situation where someone tries to hit him on the turnbuckle and they stop it. Yeah. And they did it to me, so that happened. And I thought I was out for like hours. I was out for like 10 seconds. And there's people in the bathroom like, being like, oh, bro, you got fucked up. Like, ever since that moment, I got into a couple of the fights, but that moment right there was like, oh shit, I need to like not do this, like not be like, so apt to fighting. Cause I never, in a fight you never think, especially in school, that it's gonna get to a point to where your life is in danger. You just don't think that way. You don't think that.
I see what you mean.
You feel immortal as a 16, 17, 18-year-old person.
Yeah.
See, that sounds so badass and cool to get in those kinds of fights.
Not scary.
But it's also okay. But chicks dig it. That's the thing.
I guess,
that's
but
the frustrating
like,
thing is like that's what.
But you would never want to
cool.
do like for me. I would never want to do that again.
Sorry, but like maybe half the reason we even ever started a war is because the president's wife thought it would be hot.
Oh my god, Troy. Troy's the perfect example.
Like, every time I watch a movie where there's, like, a bully beating the fuck out of the good guy...
Oh my god!
You know that bully is getting his dick sucked after he beats up the good guy.
There's a limit, though. Sure. There is a limit.
Depending on the girl.
Because here's the thing. Because they don't want a bully. What they want is a hero protecting her from someone who's...
Exactly.
So, there's a thin line between being a bully and a hero, though. Because you gotta pick the right adversary.
But if a girl loves her man enough...
No.
She's behind him no matter what.
The wrong girl. Like...
Well, most
I mean, a girl... Well, maybe a girl right
say.
for you, because I'm sure there's some girls who are into that.
Every guy who's got a woman who's, like, they're together... If he went and fought somebody, a lot of times she'd be like,
"Oh yeah,
come here."
Yeah. But you know what's taught me? There's always two sides of a story, and I learned that from Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
the new show.
Exactly,
so
I love
when you look at that. And I'm like, so who is the hero? Like sometimes you're the hero in your own story.
We're all the hero.
We're all the hero in our story.
Everybody is the hero.
We're all the protagonists.
So this is like what I heard from like, is like how to like when you're like positioning yourself with people, is you have to remember that you're not the hero, they are. So you could either be that person's enemy or that person's ally. So you just have to like look at like, okay, what does this person look at?
What's the movie they're seeing right now?
But it's like. There's also the chaotic ones. Like, I had a guy approach me at a bar once, and he just gets right up in my face, and he steps back and swings his hand at me, and then stops right by my face. In that situation...
You're getting punched. If someone does it to me, I'm fighting you. Because you already made the aggressive maneuver.
But I didn't, and then nothing happened.
No, but the other person made the aggressive... So my instincts are going to be, like, to do that. I remember... when the riots were happening.
Yeah.
Now I'm proud of this. Well, I don't even know what. Well, actually, I actually understood like young women better. So I was with these like 18-year-old, 19-year-old chicks. Had beer, you know what I'm saying? Bought them beer. These fucking maybe like 16-year-old, 17-year-old, maybe 20-year-old dudes came up, and were just talking hella like shit to them. And they were like, for some guy was making a joke. Was like, oh man, we should like fight these girls. And I was like, oh, you want to fight somebody? Fight me. You can fight me. And literally, I saw the look on all these girls. Like their look, the guys' look changed, and their look changed. But at the same time, it's like, am I being a bully right now? Am I being like? I know these boys don't know anything about anything.
Weird.
They're just children.
They're just puking up words.
Yes.
One of them had the idea, and it came out of his mouth.
And it said it, and now they have to do it.
Up and making a challenge, and maybe even in their heads, they're like, "Whoa, this guy."
Whoa, dude! I was just trying to talk to these girls, man. Now
you started it.
But now I'm the villain in their story. But these girls are like, "Oh my god!" I swear to God, that's the only reason that girl fucked me that night is because I did that, and it was just like, and I'm. So
that's what men do, luckily. That's the other side of, like, the violent man, is that they're useful for protection.
Yes.
That's what people always forget is, like, and, you can always say, like, well, they're protecting you from other men, but it's like, yeah. But
it's a cockfight is what it is.
This one's yours, and you have to, like, remember that
it's literally, that's one of the instances where I felt most animalistic. Mm-hmm. Because it felt like it was like 2 bucks, 2 elks, or 2 lions or whatever. The young buck was coming up, and the old, the veteran,
especially with women there.
Exactly. And I was like, they ain't ready for this. I could fuck all 3 of these guys up right now. Like I literally I do basic weight training. I'm consistent, but I do basic strength. I do 100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups, 100, 200 sit-ups a day. Like, it's not anything, like, crazy. You know what I mean? But I know, I was like, these guys don't... They have... How many pull-ups can they do right now? How many fucking push-ups can they do right now? Each of them... I could probably do more push-ups and pull-ups than each of them combined right now.
See, you're, like, referencing that, but I think what's more important in a fight is just your fight ability.
Fight ability, yes, but strength is a huge part of it.
That's nice, because I'm very strong.
Exactly.
And I have a sharp knuckle. I was thinking about that today. I was like, okay, at least if I hit somebody, it would hurt really fucking
Strength,
bad.
no. Technique comes in great for grappling.
But I mean, like, also not... But I mean, like, your mind in a fight, under pressure, under the most pressure possible, is in a fight.
But also...
being able to breathe and focus and fight.
I've been in...
That's your actual strength.
I've been in almost... I would say at least a half a dozen to a dozen fights.
So against those boys, your strength isn't your push-ups.
I got knocked by the time. Yeah, exactly. I've been sleeping.
There's no sink here. We're fine. Let's fight.
I was like, oh, you guys don't got a sink?
You guys don't have a sink, do you? What? Everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, if they had a kitchen sink, I'm fucked. But everything but the kitchen sink, I'm good.
I have to pee, and then we're gonna push this.
I was gonna say I gotta pee. I gotta pee.
But that was a successful tattoo cast.
Woo! Yeah.